House of the Dragon Season 1 Episode 1. This one's called The Heirs of the Dragon. I don't know if I should call this like Game of Thrones or is this just known as House of the Dragons. Like, I'm a big Game of Thrones fan. I loved all the seasons except for that last season that they did. It felt like everything was kind of rushed at the let me adjust my camera here. At the last season, if that makes sense. Can y'all see me? If that makes sense. I wasn't a fan of the last season of Game of Thrones. I mean, yes, the first half of it was alright, and then when we got like close to the last two episodes, everything happened so fast. I don't know how to explain it, but we're here with the heir of the dragon. I don't know if this is Game of Thrones like a thing of its own, because I hadn't read the books or nothing. I'm just going with my knowledge of what I've seen on TV. Is Game of Thrones like its own little book, and then you got Heirs of the Dragon as its own little book? I mean, not Heirs of the Dragon, but House of the Dragons. Dragons, I don't know if I'm saying it right. But is that like their own little separate like book or something? Because I almost called it like Game of Thrones, but it's just, from the title that I'm seeing, it just says House of the Dragon. So yeah, we're here with House of the Dragon Season 1, Episode 1. There is just one season out, but I'm sure like if this show is as successful as the first one, the first Game of Thrones, like if it's I can't get the words out. If it's as successful as the first like seasons like Game of Thrones was, then I can see a whole bunch of seasons coming out for Heir of House of the Dragons. I'm getting confused because the title and the name of the show is right in front of me right now. I can see more seasons coming out for that. That's what I'm pretty much trying to say. So, yeah. I've got no knowledge. I'm going in with no knowledge. I'm gonna have to learn all these characters' names. Like, I was a big fan of Jon Snow. I was a big fan of Sir Jorah Mormont, if I'm saying his name right, his last name. But yeah, I was a big fan of Sam. I was a big fan of Arya Stark. I wonder if we're gonna see any Starks in this, or is it just gonna be Targaryens? Because I know, like, the dragon, the House of the Dragon is literally the Targaryens, isn't it? So I'm pretty sure this is gonna be all Targaryen based. But I heard some interesting stories about the Targaryens as well, like within the show of Game of Thrones, where the Targaryens weren't always as loved as we started liking them when Daenerys showed up. So they kind of had a similar thing to what Cersei Lannister and Jaime Lannister had, like the little incest thing that they had going on. So yeah, I wonder if they're gonna touch on those topics within House of the Dragon, so to speak. Just gonna have to wait and see. But yeah, nonetheless, let's just start the show. I'm going in with a fresh mind, basically. I don't know nothing about the show. Well, nothing about House of the Dragon. I know a lot about Game of Thrones, but know nothing about House of the Dragon. So let's just go into the show and see what this is about. I'm kind of curious because I've been trying to watch this. Also, if you guys would like me to watch the Lord of the Rings series, let me know in the comments or something. I'll try and test that out as well. This is just like a little test run at the moment, because I'm still doing my Expanse reaction, so you guys will see that on the Monday when it does drop. And yeah, you guys should see this one before the Expanse. So yeah, I'm going, like I've said, I got no idea what House of the Dragon's about. So with that being said, let's get into this.
The health of the old king, Jaehaerys, was failing, with 10 adult dragons under its yoke. King Jaehaerys reigned over nearly 60 years of peace and prosperity. The old king called a great council to choose an heir. Princess Rhaenys Targaryen, the king's eldest descendant, and her younger cousin, Prince Viserys Targaryen.
The prince Viserys Targaryen be made Prince of Dragonstone.
So they was not for the woman back in the Targaryen days?
The only thing that could tear down the House of the Dragon was itself.
Whole new intro and everything. Still got a hint of the Targaryen theme in there, with the way Drogon used to, like, when he did his Dracarys thing, you'd hear that theme in the background. It's got a hint of that in that little intro right there. So this is like the reign of the dragons, like dragons existed. This must be King's Landing by the looks of it. It's giving me King's Landing vibes.
Welcome back, Princess. I trust your ride was pleasant.
Try not to look too relieved, sir. Syrax is growing quickly. She'll soon be as large as Caraxes.
Was that dragon's name Syrax? Did I hear that right? Now this is King's Landing, because that's the little castle in the background. Or was that King's Landing we were in? Because the city is just giving me King's Landing vibes. Yeah, this is definitely King's Landing. You could probably take shots for the amount of times I just said King's Landing.
I don't need mothering, Rhaenyra.
Well, here you are, surrounded by attendants, all focused on the babe.
We have royal wounds, you and I. The childbed is our battlefield.
I mean, so far they seem pretty chill.
The growing alliance among the free cities has taken to styling itself the Triarchy.
A man called Kragas Drehar has styled himself the Prince Admiral of this Triarchy.
Do you think Daemon is distracted by his present task?
I would urge that you not allow this Triarchy much latitude in the stepstones, Your Grace.
Shall we discuss the heirs tournament, Your Grace?
There's a boy in the Queen's belly. I know it.
Something tells me ain't gonna be no boy popping out of there.
Te paveso go scoriositmasta.
I brought you something. Turn around.
He's not about to do the same thing that Viserys from Game of Thrones did, is he? He better not.
Yeah.
When Princess Nymeria arrived in Dorne, who did she take to husband?
Nymeria. Wasn't that the name of Arya Stark's wolf?
You're worried your father is about to overshadow you with a son.
I want to fly with you on Dragonback, see the great wonders across the narrow sea and eat only cake.
What's the girl in the blues name? I didn't catch her name. If they probably mentioned it in the beginning. Yeah, let me know.
Is it healing?
It has grown slightly, Your Grace.
It's a small cut from sitting the throne. It's nothing.
Isn't it funny how these kings always end up dying by the smallest little wounds? Like Robert Baratheon died from like a pig attack or like a wild boar or something like that. I'm gonna be linking a lot of the old show stuff with the new show stuff. I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm just joining in.
When I took command of the Watch, you were stray mongrels. Now, you're a pack of hounds. Crime of every breed has been allowed to thrive.
Getting the men hyped up there, gassing them up. Really? I'm the peasants of all the people? I thought they was gonna go attack somebody else, not the poor folk of the city.
Get up!
Well, I guess there's one person I already don't like now amongst the group of Targaryens. These are the Targaryens, right? He's got blonde hair, so I'm assuming it's gotta be. They got no chill. Jeez.
The prince cannot be allowed to act with this kind of unchecked impunity.
Carry on. You were saying something about my impunity.
The city watch is not a sword to be wielded at your whim.
Our city should be safe for all its people.
I agree.
We installed Prince Daemon as commander to promote law and order.
You made a vow before the Seven to honor your wife in marriage.
I'd gladly give Lady Rhea to you, Lord Hightower, if you're in want of a woman to warm your bed.
You know how my brother makes sport of provoking you. Must you indulge him?
Okay, so which one's Rhaenys and which one's Viserys? Did I hear right correctly in the beginning? The two sons, one was called Rhaenys, the other one was called Viserys? Is this Rhaenys right now? I'm literally going in blind into the show, so I don't really know who's who. I heard names in the beginning, but I'm not sure who's who right now. Well, I kind of know who's who.
What troubles you, my prince?
Oh, he's still a prince. He's not even like a king or nothing.
You are Daemon Targaryen, rider of Caraxes, wielder of dark sister.
Daemon. His name's Daemon. He's not even Rhaenys. It's gonna take me a while to catch on to these names, so I apologize if I name the wrong person the wrong names.
Queen Emma has begun her labors!
A mystery knight? No, a coal of the Stormlands.
Ooh.